Welcome to the WatchDog Show, folks. Today is about simple math. With every community in the country having budget problems, we see a police department that is just out of control. We have officers that we really don't need. We have out-of-control officers. We also have an addiction to high-powered, fancy vehicles, and you can justify the Hummer through it was in a seizure. Well, justifying things by keeping them after a seizure in this time doesn't work. You need to put the Hummer in an auction, which you should have done a couple years ago when it was worth something. Go through the fleet. Here's the deal. They all want more money. Prop 200, forget it. The public told you forget it. They told you to get responsible. So what you got to do is go through each department and go, here's what we can do. If it's not going to be a chase vehicle, it should be a 6-cylinder, Illumina, something, maybe not all the computer stuff. What we're seeing is everybody's driving high-powered vehicles. You got take-home cars, which I was corrected by somebody, the free ride program. They're take-home cars. That doesn't make it okay. You need to reel the fleet down to next to nothing. Just what you need. Like I said in the previous thing, 100 to 100, about 125%, 130% to allow for repairs and maintenance. Yourself, you should have a take-home car. You're the chief. There are positions, K-9 unit. I think homicide detectives, because that's usually a middle-of-the-night thing. They need to get there. Evidence can be destroyed. And there's certain ones. Giving a commercial vehicle enforcement a truck and a car to park at his house this spring, and then when I call, you have internal affairs beating people away. I can tell you, Chief, that the public is scared of your department. The emails coming in, I've had to refer some of them to federal agencies. They're just too much for me to handle because people are afraid to contact internal affairs. I want you either to step down and say, I can't bring this department fiscally responsible, or I need you to go down to internal affairs and go, look, you're ruining our reputation. And what's going on with this Klinger guy? Do you get involved in daily operations? The other thing is go through the fleet. Get a pencil, a red pen, and start deciding which cars don't need to be Crown Vics with 8 cylinders with everything, the computer system in them. You need to scale everything down. We need more officers on the street and less pizzazz. The Hummer, get rid of it. I'm demanding it. If you need a Hummer to recruit police officers, something's wrong. You just need to get back to basics. Larry Lopez is out there trying to peddle that you got all these budget cuts. It's not true. You need to go through each department, act like a private business. Us private businesses that are at the hands of your guys' abuse and overzealous officers, I got news for you. The one thing I'm going to go after is this commercial vehicle department. Having been in the transportation department, almost every truck that runs around Tucson ends up on the freeway. And all my drivers and myself had total respect for the DOT. They do a great job out there. They do it professionally, unlike your guys. Here's the deal. You don't need them. Get rid of that Ford truck. We got pictures of it at Best Buy, taking up 2 spaces. I got pictures of it at home. My neighborhood, just finding out what that vehicle does, and they can't believe that you would put it up here to patrol a couple hours a day for the last few years. Now, people can say, oh, this guy's crazy. But you know what? I haven't seen that truck in our neighborhood since I've been doing this show. If this is what it takes to make you responsible, Chief, that's what it's got to be. You know what the great thing is? I do all this for free. I'm cleaning up your agency for free when internal affairs can't do it for their big bucks. The other thing is we have teachers buying their own office supplies. I mean, minimalize stuff. Really. Go through each department, and if you want to get together with me, I've got some great ideas. But you know what? You work for the government, and that's just not going to happen. You just want more money to frivolously spend. Go through and cut this vehicle problem, and you'll find money. I'm asking. You either go through every department, and I want you down in Internal Affairs today going, why is the public afraid? Why is the WatchDog show getting almost 100 complaints and people saying they're afraid to come to us? You need to be serious about this, because this is not going to stop. I know your police officers are harassing me. They're casing my house, and you don't even care. You're out of touch. Step down or go through the department and do some serious cuts and crack the whip. Tell them, if somebody complains, we don't hate them, we don't threaten them, and we don't intimidate them. Act like a police officer or a chief. Maybe that would be good. A chief rallies the force to be better, not to intimidate, not to threaten. I've got physical violence threats. Come on, chief. It's time to step up to the plate and go, wouldn't it be nice to go on a program and say, this is what I've done. I've gone through the fleet. I've gone through the office. That's real. And that's how in private business you would get promoted. In government, they just give you the job. It's sickening. This is the WatchDog show, folks, and I want to say that our views are going up every day. We're close to 300,000 hits this month, and we've got some interesting. I'm going to do some interviews next week with some people that are really on it. And policeabuse.com is another site you may want to check out. It's a nationwide site, and it's proof in the pudding that just because you hire police are human. When you hire a police officer, you may have problems. And Chief, what are we going to do about Officer Klinger? I want to sit down with you about Officer Klinger, because I'm not going to Internal Affairs.